What's up? This is Eddie Hermida from Suicide Silence, and you're watching me on Rockline TV. I'm doing great today, man. We had a signing a little bit earlier at a local mall, kind of like metal store. A lot of kids were there. A lot of kids were really happy to see us. And for me, it was a big deal because, the whole idea of being so far away from where I'm from, and the fact that I've come this far, and that I'm here with my boys, and all these kids are there standing in line to support us. It's such a very cool feeling. So this whole day has been really chill. We're playing at a really awesome venue, and I can't wait to play tonight. Very successful. So far, so good. The last time we were out here, we played a bunch of festivals, which were awesome. But this time it's a headlining run. Full headlining run, very good support acts, Fit for an Autopsy, Die Hard is Murder. They've been killing it every night. We started off in the UK with a band called Black Tongue, a very heavy band from the UK. The rest of this tour has been almost selling out every night. Last night we played night before last we played in Hungary, and now we're here in Slovenia to fucking rock your faces off. I think overall the general reaction has been very positive. Personally, I think, not to say anything negative about the previous work, because the previous work is all really good, but I think that the guys, obviously with the pain of losing your best friend, and sometimes out of adversity comes some of the best music you could ever write. I think that this record is one of the best records that Suicide Silence has ever written, and I'm very proud to be a part of it. I'm very happy with the work that I did on it, and I think that the fans see it that way too, and I really believe that they're stoked on the music. When we play all the new songs, kids already know the new tunes, they already sing along, and it's a good time. They had bits and pieces. They had two songs that were completely done, that they were working on with Mitch before Mitch passed away. The night that Mitch passed away, the next day he was supposed to go into the studio with Steve Evans and he was going to start laying down some pre-production vocals and just to see where everything was at. And he actually left behind a set of lyrics that he was working on that we put to the song You Can't Stop Me, and that's why we named the record You Can't Stop Me, was because in the end we felt like not even in death, were you able to stop Mitch's process, his ideas, and his whole energy, so I showed up September of 2013, and we started working. All the way through the end of October, we wrote I want to say 10 songs, and it was such a fun process. It was just showing up to the studio every day, jamming. Hell, this riff sounds cool. Let's try it with this riff. Or, hey man, that part sounds really cool, man. Could you play it a little bit longer? I'm gonna try this over that, and it was just so. It was very fluid. It was very, very well put together. And, we were all just having a good time getting to know each other as musicians, because we've been friends for a long time. So, the process of writing the record was very fluid and very awesome. It was a pretty difficult decision. The guys came up to me, I would say about 7 or 8 months after Mitch's passing, and they said, Eddie, I think we're ready to start maybe picking up the wheels again and start moving the band forward. And it took me a minute. At first I was kind of like, why me? Out of all people. and I think that is why they chose me, because I was gonna actually think about it before being like, yeah, sure, you know. And I thought about it for a while. You know, a big reason of why I decided to move forward with the band was because I've been friends with them for so long. You know, whenever we toured together, I was always in their bus, partying, hanging out, riding with them, you know, chilling with all them. And they've just been my friends for a long time. So that made it really easy for me to be like, yeah, sure, let's do this. The one thing I always said, though, was please don't make me quit All Shall Perish. If there's anything you're going to do, you know, I'll do whatever. I don't really care. You know, All Shall Perish isn't really trying to tour a lot anymore. You know, we're kind of slowing down. You know, I would love to continue writing music with my band. You know, it's my baby. Please don't make me leave that. And they said absolutely, stay in All Shall Perish. We don't care. Everything's good. Do whatever you need to. And we from there, you know, it took me like another month or so, talking to my parents and friends and just trying to get an idea of how I was feeling and how they were feeling, and if they thought it was a good idea. And then from there, it was just like, yeah, let's fucking do it. You know, this is gonna be a good thing. I feel like I can sing the parts. You know, I feel like I can bring a good energy to the stage, and it's gonna be a sick live show. So why the fuck not? And we wrote You Can't Stop Me, and now we've been touring for almost a year and a half, and I couldn't be happier. I love going on stage every day with those guys, and here I am today. Yeah, it was a big responsibility, but I absolutely thought I could do it. You know, Mitch was a big name in the deathcore scene, but so am I. You know, my All Shall Perish wasn't a bunch of chumps. You know, like we wrote really good music, and you know, I'm very proud of the work I did with them. So it was one of those things where it's like two brothers just deciding to write music together. Why not? You know, it makes perfect sense. That was the big thing. I felt like I could do it. If I didn't think I could do it, I would have told those guys honestly right off the bat. I would have been like, hey man, you know, I don't think that I'm the right man for this spot. You know, I think you guys need to find somebody who's a better singer or who's a better front man. But at the end of the day, I really thought that I could do it, and I really thought that I could bring a solid, different energy to the band. And the big thing was that I knew that I wasn't going to try to be Mitch, and I think that's what they wanted. I think they wanted a guy who's going to just be himself. Because I feel like everybody else would have tried to imitate Mitch a little too much. You know, doing the moves and, you know, doing the same in-between song banter. I do myself, and I talk to kids how I talk to kids. You know, I'm a little bit more harsh, and you know, I'll tell kids to suck my dick, and it doesn't matter. And you know, I tell crude jokes, and that's just kind of how I roll. So the big thing is, you know, I'm trying to make Suicide Silence a new thing now, and I think we're doing that pretty damn good. I compare it a little bit more to like AC/DC. Nobody ever talks shit on Brian Johnson. The people that do talk shit on Brian Johnson are out of their fucking minds, because Brian Johnson is a killer frontman. He sounds really good, and he brought a different energy to AC/DC, you know? And that's what I'm doing. And the kids that are still talking shit about it, I let them, because they're, like I said, they're out of their minds. They were never real fans of the band. They're just on the internet talking shit because they're tired of looking at porn and jerking off. I don't know, man. I think that because of who I was, I think a lot of kids were really stoked on the idea. A lot of kids were fans of All Shall Perish and Suicide Silence. So for a lot of fans that were fans of both bands, for them it was like, yeah, dude, that's a cool idea. That's a really cool thing. And then, you know, occasionally there's like, you know, you'll get the young, you know, 13-year-old boy that really idolized Mitch and will never get over the fact that Mitch is gone. You know, it's unfortunate, but it's a very true thing. You know, some people will never get over the fact that Marilyn Manson died or Elvis died, you know. But at the end of the day, there are a lot of people that do. And I think that the support level since saying that I've been in the band, and then the record dropping, and then coming out playing a bunch of shows, I think that the level of acceptance has gone through the roof. I think, for every one person that says a negative thing on the internet, there's always 6 or 7 to 10 people that are like, no, you're fucking crazy. The guy's killing it. He's fucking great. And that with bands like Thy Art Is Murder, Fit for an Autopsy, there's bands like Rivers of Nil. There's so much tech and so much brutality that's coming out of new bands. Whitechapel, that like the voices are getting lower, deeper, gnarlier. Fucking people are screaming for longer. Guitars are shredding faster, drums are getting faster. So everybody's just stepping it up. Every album that comes out, I feel like everybody's just getting faster and better and stronger. It's kind of like how death metal was for a long time. Traditional death metal. It was just trying to push the boundaries and be more tech and be more insane than the last band. So I'm really happy with it. I think that the state of deathcore nowadays is very cool. It has different facets. Deathcore can become like really jumpy and kind of genty, and then you can just have the traditional straight death metal craziness. And either side, it makes me really stoked to see where music is, because to me, if music stops, then my heart stops, and that's just the reality. I love music so much that I would hate to see kids give any kind of music a thumbs down and turn away from it and just start listening to hip hop or something. Well, we've been talking a lot on this tour, especially because we're kind of nearing the end of our touring cycle. We've been talking about getting back in and starting to write some new stuff. We're all kind of really excited and throwing around ideas for the new record, concepts for songs, and ideas for funny things to throw into things that'll make us laugh. We're really stoked to get back into a studio. I know that all of us are kind of hungry to write more music. To Slovenian fans, thank you very much for your support. We love you very fucking much. And Fala.